The desert ghosts, eternal masters of the sands. Introduction, the creature of mirages. Across the blazing horizons of Arabia, where the earth seems to shimmer and dissolve under waves of heat, there moves a figure so ethereal it could be mistaken for a mirage. Its ivory coat reflects the desert sun like polished pearl, its horns rise like dark lances into the sky, and its slow, deliberate gait mirrors the rhythm of the shifting dunes. This is the white antelope, once thought lost forever, now restored to its rightful kingdom of sand and stone. Known scientifically as ORYX and locally as almaha, this antelope is more than an animal. It is a cultural symbol, an ecological engineer, and one of the most remarkable conservation success stories on Earth. To understand it is to step into a tale of survival against the odds, a saga that weaves together biology, history, myth, and modern science. Chapter 1. A Kingdom of Fire and Sand. The Arabian Peninsula is a crucible of extremes. Summer temperatures often soar beyond 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Rain may not fall for months or even years in some regions. The empty quarter, Rub al-Khali, is the largest continuous sand desert on Earth, with dunes towering over skyscrapers and horizons that stretch unbroken for hundreds of miles. Most mammals would perish in days here. Yet the white antelope not only endures but thrives. This is an ecosystem where survival demands perfection, and every detail of the oryx's anatomy and behavior has been sculpted for this purpose. Historically, these antelopes range from the deserts of Iraq down through Oman, across Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and into the Sinai Peninsula. Ancient rock art carved into cliffs more than 6,000 years ago shows their unmistakable silhouette, proof that humans have lived alongside and revered them since prehistory. Bedouin tribes saw the oryx as a symbol of beauty and endurance, immortalized in Arabic poetry and folk tales. But while culture celebrated them, human hunting ultimately drove them to the brink. Chapter 2. The Fall into Silence. By the mid-20th century, the spread of motor vehicles and modern firearms turned the oryx from elusive quarry into easy prey. Hunters pursued them for sport, meat, and horns, which were often mistaken for the legendary unicorn's single spear. In 1972, the last confirmed wild white antelope was shot in Oman's Jeddah al-Harassis Plateau. For the first time in millennia, the desert was without its most iconic grazer. Scientists and locals alike mourned what seemed to be an inevitable extinction. Yet, in a twist of fate, a handful of visionaries had already secured a future. Small groups of oryx had been captured in the 1960s and placed in breeding programs, most famously at the Phoenix Zoo in Arizona, which became the epicenter of the so-called world herd. At one point, the global population numbered fewer than 50 individuals. The survival of an entire species rested on the fragile lives of this captive remnant. Chapter 3. Rebirth of a Ghost. The breeding program succeeded beyond expectations. Careful genetic management, international cooperation, and sheer persistence built the population into the hundreds. Then came the bold step, reintroduction. In 1982, 10 oryx were released into Oman's Jeddah al-Harassis Reserve. Within years, calves born in the wild outnumbered those reintroduced. What followed was nothing short of revolutionary. More releases in Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Israel, Jordan, and even Qatar. By the 21st century, the white antelope had made conservation history as the first large mammal ever to move from extinct in the wild to a lower threat category on the IUCN Red List. Today, more than 1,000 live freely across protected reserves, with thousands more in semi-wild or managed herds. The ghost of the desert had returned. Chapter 4. Built by the Desert. The white antelope's survival lies in an extraordinary suite of physical and physiological adaptations. Reflective armor, its coat changes with the seasons, dazzling white in summer to reflect heat, slightly darker in winter to absorb warmth. Natural sunglasses, black markings around eyes and muzzle reduce glare and protect sensitive skin. Desert snowshoes, wide, splayed hooves prevent sinking in sand and provide grip on rocky ground. Living spears. Both sexes carry horns up to 75 centimeters, 30 in, long. These are weapons, tools, and status symbols. Heat battery. The ORYX allows body temperature to rise to 46 degrees Celsius, 115 degrees Fahrenheit by day, storing heat instead of wasting water through sweating, then cools at night. Moisture alchemists. They can survive indefinitely without drinking, extracting water from dry grasses and desert succulents, and recycling nearly all moisture through hyper-efficient kidneys and nasal passages. Few animals rival this level of desert engineering, not even camels, who still need to drink eventually. Chapter 5. The Social Dance of the Sands. White antelopes live in herds typically numbering 10 to 30, though larger groups form when food is abundant. Their society is flexible, democratic, and surprisingly peaceful compared to many antelopes. Leadership, not fixed. Older, experienced individuals lead when navigating to water or grazing lands. Mating rituals. Males compete by clashing horns, but contests are ritualized. Serious injury is rare. Communication. Whistles, snorts, and deep bellows carry across the desert, while subtle postures and sense signals maintain cohesion. Parental care. Mothers fiercely protect calves, who can stand within an hour of birth and run within a day, essential for survival in a nomadic herd. Their social fluidity reflects the desert's unpredictability. Groups split and merge in response to resources, always adapting to scarcity or plenty. Chapter 6. Navigators of the Invisible. Perhaps the Oryx's most mystical ability is its desert navigation. They can detect distant rainstorms and will begin migrating toward them long before the first drops fall. Their spatial memory allows them to recall feeding grounds across hundreds of square kilometers, returning years later when conditions are right. Some scientists suggest they can even sense atmospheric changes before storms, guiding herds to areas that will bloom with vegetation after rare rains. In this sense, they are living barometers of the desert. Chapter 7. Architects of the Ecosystem. The white antelope is not just a survivor, it is a shaper of its world. Vegetation balance. By grazing selectively, they prevent any single plant from dominating, maintaining biodiversity. Soil enrichment. Their dung fertilizes barren sands, feeding insects and microbes. Wildlife corridors. Their trails through shifting dunes become pathways for foxes, hares, lizards, and other creatures. Predator link. Historically, they supported Arabian wolves and even Asiatic lions. Their revival may someday allow predators to return too. Without ORYX, deserts risk ecological imbalance. With them, life radiates outward in surprising ways. Chapter 8. Present Threats, Future Hopes. The return of the white antelope is remarkable, but the battle is not over. Climate change, rising heat, and prolonged droughts test even their resilience. Habitat fragmentation, roads, pipelines, and cities cut across traditional migration routes. Competition, domestic camels, goats, and sheep compete for scarce grazing. Poaching, though greatly reduced, illegal hunting persists. Yet there is hope. Protected reserves such as Saudi Arabia's Mahazet As-Said and Oman's Arabian Oryx Sanctuary now safeguard herds. GPS tracking offers real-time monitoring. Genetic science ensures long-term health. Educational programs engage local communities, transforming former hunters into guardians. Chapter 9. Symbols of Culture and Spirit. Beyond biology, the white antelope occupies a sacred space in human imagination. In Bedouin poetry, the al-Maha is often a metaphor for beauty, purity, and resilience. Its silhouette appears in ancient cave paintings and modern emblems alike. The myth of the unicorn may even trace back to traders glimpsing an oryx in profile, its twin horns appearing as one. Today, the animal adorns banknotes, national logos, and conservation campaigns across the Middle East. It is both a cultural treasure and a reminder of humanity's responsibility to protect the fragile. Conclusion: Ghosts made flesh again. The white antelope's journey is a lesson written in sand and time. Once erased by human hands, it was brought back by human will. It is proof that extinction does not always mean finality, that with vision, cooperation, and perseverance, species can be reborn. As the sun sinks over the dunes and a herd of pale antelopes moves silently across the horizon, they embody resilience itself. Their story is not only about the survival of one species, but about our ability to choose creation over destruction. the desert ghosts live again, and in their survival, we glimpse the possibility of saving countless others who teeter at the edge of silence.